Istanbul. So you use Je-
Oh, Japan.
Oh, Japon. AU. Sebut Toronto. Apa agak dia sebut? Dia macam nama tempat dekat Pahang tu. Orang sana dia tak sebut Toronto, dia sebut Trono. Trono, macam Trono. Kita ada tempat Trono. Trono. Sama juga macam di Ottawa tu. I tinggal di Ottawa dulu. Di Ottawa dia orang tak sebut Ottawa. Agaknya Odawa. Odawa. Okay. Okay. So, next one. Okay, kalau ingat lagi, last week kita belajar tentang preposition of countries, whereby depending on the country, whether they are masculine, feminine, singular or plural, we use different prepositions. Kalau negara tu masculine, misalnya Kanada, Portugal, so you kata O Kanada, O Portugal. Kalau negara tu feminine, biasanya ujung dengan E. Kita nak kata I'm going to France, I'm going to Italy. Je vais en Italie, je vais en France. So, preposition to be used, en. Kalau dia plural, misalnya Seychelles, Philippines, United States of America, Netherlands, semua tu kita gunakan preposition O, AUX. If it's a small country, biasanya kita gunakan A sebagaimana kita guna untuk bandaraya, bandar and so on. So basically, that is the 4 prepositions that we have learned last week. And di sini, I think we stop in the middle of this particular exercise. So kita habiskan sikit lagi exercise ni. And then we'll go to the next video. The next video would be about how to ask and to tell the time. So, à Abidjan, correct? Monsieur Bonny travaille à Abidjan. And then, negara apa ni? Abidjan ialah di in English kita panggil dia Ivory Coast. In French, Côte d'Ivoire. So, it's a feminine country. Dia ada E kat belakang. So, macam France, en France. So, Côte d'Ivoire, en Côte d'Ivoire. Okay. Okay. Mademoiselle Tissot, Genève. So, Mademoiselle Tissot travaille à Genève, negaranya?
Switzerland.
Switzerland. So, Switzerland, Swiss. So, you kata apa? O Swiss ke, on Swiss ke, O Swiss, AUX. Ejaan dia SUISSE. So, dia negara yang hujung dengan E. Ending with E. So, most likely it is a feminine country, kan? So, if it's feminine, you use which preposition? On, correct. On. Okay. So next, Monsieur Diouf. Travail. Sekali lagi A lah. Semua ni kena A sebab dia nama tempat. So Monsieur Diouf travaille à Dakar. Dan negara dia? O, correct. O, negara apa?
West Africa.
Bukan. Yelah. Tapi negara betul dia Senegal. So, Monsieur Diouf travaille à Dakar au Sénégal. Because Senegal is a masculine country, so tak ada E di belakang. So, you use AU. Au Sénégal. Okay. Madame Aknouche travaille à apa? Rabat lah. Okay. Madame Aknouche travaille à Rabat. Negara mana ni?
Morocco.
Correct. Duduk lama juga kat Rabat dulu. Kawan-kawan I ramai kat situ. Nama dalam bahasa Arab dia Rabat. Maksudnya ingat-ingat lupa I simpulan Rabat ni simpulan dalam bahasa Arab, simpulan apa? Tali. Rabat. So negaranya Morocco betul. Maroc. In French dia panggil Maroc. M-A-R-O-C. So, apa agaknya preposition dia? Mademoiselle Aknouche travaille à Rabat. So, preposition, what preposition to be used? The country is Maroc. M-A-R-O-C. So, you need to decide whether the country is masculine or feminine. Then use the appropriate preposition. It's a masculine country, so you use O, correct. So, Madame Aknouche travaille à Rabat, au Maroc. Okay? Très bien.
Turn that into a model. Bye.
Okay, kita tengok yang mana yang I just buka sekejap tengok whether it's okay or not.
The newest technology in non-stick cookware made with ceramic and super strong titanium.
Mungkin dia kata 18 orang termasuk anjing.
Pour un pays féminin,
Au Sénégal. Rabat ni simpulan dalam bahasa Arab. Très bien.
look at the difference between masculine, feminine, and plural. So it does mean, and maybe it sounds a bit strange for some students, but we do have some feminine countries, masculine countries, and plural countries. Okay, so let's try to see how it's possible to see the gender of a country. And so the best way to see that is to spot the final letter. Okay, in this case, France is ending with a, as you can see, and it's in red. And it does mean that, well, this country is feminine, all right? So the preposition you will have to use with this country will be en. Okay, repeat. En. Okay? After that, let's take an example of Canada. Okay, so what you can see that it's ending with a, but actually the most important thing is that it's not ending with as with France. Okay, so it does mean that this country is masculine, and the preposition you will have to use is o. Okay, so you write it a u, but then you pronounce it o. Repeat. O. Okay, and then last category, like États-Unis, well, this category is plural, and then it does mean that the preposition you will have to use is o. Okay, so even if it's ending with an X, you don't pronounce it. Okay, it's o. Alright, so let's see how they work. So, pour un pays féminin, so as we saw, you will have to use la preposition en, okay, and then add the country right after. So let's have some example. En France. Repeat. En Finlande. Repeat. Okay. Masculine countries, so as we saw previously, preposition o and then the country. Okay, so let's take.
Okay, I've just sent few videos yang ada dalam this particular video. For example, this one. So I think you can watch it at your own leisure time lah. Balik-balik sama je dia nak ajarnya yang 4 tadi lah. EN, feminine country, AU, masculine country, AUX, plural country, dengan A tanda tu for small countries. Okay. So ulang-ulang itu je. So I just fast forward.
Examples like the same. Okay, there is this.
In England. Another plural countries, tadi kita jumpa 2-3. Now we've got 2 more extra countries, the Philippines and the Seychelles. Okay, you use AUX for the preposition. So for example, j'habite aux États-Unis. Okay, j'habite aux Pays-Bas. Okay, now there's another exercise as just now. So try to do this exercise. J'habite. Apa? What's the answer? J'habite.
J'habite en Espagne.
Très bien. Okay, why don't we do live ni dengan LG student sekarang. Macam yang kata tadi, senang je. Feminine, mana nak tahu feminine, tengok E kat belakang. Okay, that's one thing. And then kalau bukan negara, A. Negara kecil, A. Negara tapi dia tak ada E di belakang. Then you guna O, AU. Negara tu ada S kat belakang, you guna AUX. Okay, cuba kita buat cepat-cepat je. J'habite Espagne. I'm staying in Spain. Oh, correct. J'habite Paris. I'm staying in Paris. J'habite Japon. Japan. I'm staying in Japan. Oh, très bien. Très bien. J'habite, I'm staying in Italy. I'm staying in New York. Correct. Sebab dia bukan negara. Dia city. Okay, good. Très bien. So, boleh fast forward. J'habite en Espagne. I'm staying in Spain. J'habite
On dit en Espagne, on dit en...
Okay, the next video, everything will be in French. Tapi kalau you, pasal we are used with this on, a, o and so on, I think you can guess what he's saying. Okay, kita tengok sama-sama. Okay, anyway, we know the answer is on Italy and a New York. Okay, so okay, the last one, dia kata prepositions with countries, errors, error frequent, meaning frequent errors that people do.
Delivery saya dah sampai.
Chers élèves, bonjour et bienvenue dans cette 12e vidéo sur les erreurs fréquentes dans laquelle je vais essayer de vous expliquer quelles prépositions utiliser avec les noms de pays en français. Alors, est-ce qu'il faut utiliser la préposition en ou est-ce qu'il faut utiliser la préposition au? On commence par la préposition en. Je vais vous donner 5 exemples. En français, on dit en France, on dit en Belgique, on dit en Espagne, on dit en Italie et on dit en Croatie. Ce sont des exemples. Alors, pourquoi est-ce que ces noms de pays, on les utilise avec la préposition en? Eh bien, si vous regardez bien les 5 noms de pays, il y a quelque chose d'identique dans les 5 noms de pays. Il faut que vous cherchiez non pas au début du nom du pays, mais à la fin. Si vous regardez bien à la fin du pays, vous verrez que la dernière lettre de France, c'est une lettre E, c'est la lettre E. La dernière lettre de Belgique, c'est la lettre E. Espagne est pareil, Italie aussi. Et la dernière lettre de Croatie, c'est la lettre E. Donc la règle, c'est que lorsque la dernière lettre d'un nom de pays est la lettre E, on utilise la préposition en. La préposition au maintenant, AU. Je vais vous donner 3 exemples. On dit au Maroc, on dit au Portugal et on dit au Royaume-Uni. Si vous regardez la dernière lettre, Maroc ne se termine pas par E, Portugal ne se termine pas par E et Royaume-Uni ne se termine pas par E. Donc quand la dernière lettre n'est pas la lettre E, quand la dernière lettre est une autre lettre que la lettre E, eh bien on utilise la préposition au, AU. Alors, parfois, il faut utiliser la préposition AUX, comme par exemple aux États-Unis ou bien aux Pays-Bas. Alors, pourquoi devons-nous utiliser la préposition AUX? Eh bien, parce qu'on dit les États-Unis et on dit les Pays-Bas. Ce sont des noms de pays au pluriel. Donc, avec les noms de pays au pluriel, on utilise la préposition AUX. Alors, on récapitule. Voici l'ensemble des règles. Quand la dernière lettre du nom du pays est E, on utilise la préposition en. Quand la dernière lettre est une autre lettre que la lettre E, on utilise la préposition au. Et quand le pays est au pluriel, on utilise la préposition au, AUX. Alors, bien entendu, il y a d'autres exceptions, comme par exemple le Mexique, le Cambodge, etc. Mais vous allez vous concentrer maintenant sur les règles qui fonctionnent avec quasi tous les pays. Et pour ce faire, je vais vous demander de faire les exercices pour bien mémoriser ces règles. Bon travail!
Okay, can you understand what the guy said? More or less, boleh kan? Okay, now I'll send you, okay, I've already sent you a video. As you know, in French, sometimes the spelling is different, but the pronunciation remains the same or almost the same. I'm not sure whether you have seen this video sebab dia viral juga dulu. We'll have a look and see how it goes.
So much. Don't you. Don't. Time. Don't. Attempted. Don't. Stretch. Don't. Horsefly. Don't. Ant. Don't. As much. Don't. Wait, your tent ant is spending your time so much. You have so many horseflies in your tent. Attends, autant de temps dans ta tente. Green. Vert. Towards. Vert. Glass. Vert. Ore. Vert. Worm. Vert. A green worm pours a glass towards the glassmaker around 8 o'clock. Un verre vers verse, un verre vers un verrier vers 20 heures.
Oh, If you guys thought I couldn't get dumber, I got another one for you.
Your. Thou. Ant. Thou. Feel. Auntie. Your auntie fell, your auntie. Thou.
Okay, you have seen that video before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Anyway, baby semua dah boleh cakap Perancis dah. Ta, banyak makna dah boleh cakap. Okay, I tunjuk tadi gambar yang I kata tentang mermaid tadi. Ya.
Yang teks tu tak boleh print tu sebab
Okay, kalau tak ada apa-apa, we'll stop here. Okay. Sekarang kita ada 32. Yang datang ni dah tick ke? Tengok nama you kat sini. Okay, Fasiha belum. Lutfil. Dengan one ain. If you are around, tick lah. Okay, continue. To the next video. Okay, tadi video preposition for countries. Now tentang jam, belajar jam. You level 3. Level 2 dulu ada belajar jam tak? Ke level 2 belajar nombor je? Ribu-ribu kan? Level 2. Tak belajar jam lagi kan?
Ada juga belajar jam.
Ada belajar jam ya? So I tak tahu nak skip this part or you nak tengok belajar juga tentang jam sekali lagi, takut dah lupa.
Okey, jam mana?
Okay. So mungkin kita bolehlah belajar balik. Tapi habis 2 jam ni lah. Sejam 56 minit tentang belajar jam je. Okay, tak apa. This is week 7. Kita sekarang week berapa ya?
Week 7.
Week 7. So makna we are on the right track lah. Tak apalah, boleh lah. Okay, kita tengok jam. Okay, bonjour and welcome back after Hari Raya holidays. For your information, we can use either, or we are going to learn both l'heure conversationnelle, meaning the way that people use how to tell the time in normal conversation, or we are going to learn also about l'heure officielle, official time, whereby normally official time is being used for example, in TV programs, bus schedule, train schedule, anything that is official. Okay, so we are going to learn both. We'll start off with the easy one first, which is l'heure officielle. Okay, l'heure officielle. But before starting, perhaps we can learn how to ask the time, which is this one, 4.3.1.1. Quelle heure est-il maintenant? What time is it now? Okay. Later on, quelle heure est-il maintenant? So quelle heure means what time. Est-il, is it. Maintenant, now. Okay. Quelle heure est-il maintenant? Okay. Or you can use another one, which is this one. Vous avez l'heure. Vous avez l'heure, but this is a little bit informal. But you can use it also. Vous avez l'heure. Vous avez l'heure means, do you have the time? Or direct translation, actually, do you have time? So if you do not know this expression, perhaps when someone asks you, vous avez l'heure, do you have time? You ingat dia nak minta you tolong dia buat apa-apa ke? You say, oh, so sorry, I'm busy at the moment. So you misunderstood lah. So vous avez l'heure is more of direct translation, do you have time? Meaning, what time is it now? So as I said just now, this is a little bit informal. And it becomes more informal when you are talking with the tu level, meaning you are saying or you are asking, instead of vous avez l'heure, you ask tu as l'heure. Okay, tu as l'heure. And then over there, they will say it very fast. So you hear this one. Tout à l'heure. Tout à l'heure. So what happened to me last time when I first came to France? I know how to ask the time. This one, the official way. I mean not the official way, the formal way. Quelle heure est-il maintenant? What time is it now? Suddenly, when I was at a bus stop, someone asked me, "Tout à l'heure?" I don't understand what he was asking. And then I at home I speak Kedah dialect. I hear it's about something like Tala. In Kedah they will say Hutala hangkang. Tala tu mana I'll beat you. So I know that person would not have said something in Malay, but then it sounds like that. Tala. Tala in Kedahan dialect. So taler means the same thing. What time is it? This is vous avez, you have time. Tu as l'heure, you have time also, meaning what time is it? Okay, anyway, that is how we ask the time. So the most important thing now is to learn how to tell the time. So as I said just now, we'll start with l'heure officielle. So we'll go down to l'heure officielle. Okay, official time or l'heure officielle uses the 24-hour clock system, meaning from 1 would be 1 a.m. while 1300 hours would be 1 p.m. So they use 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock until 11 o'clock. Then they keep continuing 12 o'clock. After 12 o'clock, they do not say 1 o'clock again. Like in Malay, you say 1 pagi and then 1 tengah hari. Or in English, 1 a.m., 1 p.m. But then in the 24-hour clock system, they don't go back to 1. They continue adding 1400 hours, 1500 hours, and so on. So 1 o'clock, il est 1 heure. Il est 1 heure, it is 1 o'clock. So now you know, heure does not only mean time, because just now I said quelle heure est-il? What time is it? So heure can take the meaning of time, but when you say the time, il est 1 heure, it doesn't mean time, it means o'clock. So it is 1 o'clock. Heure can also mean, like in English, hour. For example, how long is your exam? You can say 1 heure, 1 hour. Or if it's 2 hours, 2 heures with an S at the back, 2 hours. So heure means either time, or clock, or hour, okay, depending on the context. So il est 1 heure, it is 1 o'clock. So if you want to say this would be 1 a.m. For 1300 hours, which is 1 p.m., il est 13 heures. So you must know your number at least until 59, because if you use official time, you can use until, for example, 1:59. So you would say il est 1 heure, then 59:59. So that is the largest number for official time, because you cannot, you do not say 1:60, and nobody says that, and because 1:60 would be 2 o'clock. So maximum, as I said, 1h59, or you can use for this one also 13h59, okay, meaning 1:59 p.m. If I say 1h59, it is 1:59 a.m. Okay, so examples other than 1 o'clock. If you want to say it's 2:20 in the afternoon, okay? So 2:20 in the afternoon, if you want to use the official time, you cannot use 2. You must add 12, 2 to 12, meaning 12 o'clock and then 13 o'clock, 1300 hours and 1400 hours. So 1400 hours would be 2 o'clock. So then 20 is at the back, so you just put 20 here. 20. So in order to say 2:20 or 1400 hours 20 minutes, il est 14h20. So actually it's simple official time. What you see, you write or you say it out. For example, in this case, you see 14:20. So 14:20, you say il est 14h20. Meaning you say out the 14, you say 20. So whatever you see as in numbers, you say it out. So for example, 22:40, meaning what time is 22:40 in our normal time?
PM.
10:40, yes, 10:40 p.m. So you need to, if you do not know how to convert it, just deduct 12. So 22 minus 12, you get 10. So it's 10:40 p.m. You deduct if the number is more than 12. If the number is less than 12, meaning it is in the morning. So 22:40, il est 22h40. Okay, so you see 22, you use 22, 22. You see 40, you use 40, 40. In the middle, you put heure. Okay, so il est 22h40. 11:45 would be, you must say 11, which is 11. You must say 45, which is 45. In the middle, you put heure. So il est 11h45. Okay, it is 11:45. So here, for sure, it is in the morning. Okay. Okay, one is free to use either the conversational time or official time system. However, in France, television programs, train schedule, business hours, etc., use the official time, as I explained a while ago. So I'll show you, taken from another book, which is Crème Brûlée. Okay, Crème Brûlée. This book is being used in UITM. Oh, this is Crème Brûlée 1. I'm looking for Crème Brûlée 2. Okay, this one. Okay, we use this book, one of the authors for this book.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some people waiting to be accepted.
Okay. Satu je? Ada lagi? Mungkin dah terberhenti kot. Dia kalau tunggu lama sangat, dia lepas tu dia hilang kan. Dia tak apa, nanti dia request kot.
So, under left official, okay, 1 o'clock, then you got to put ile for all, okay? Quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Or you can also ask il est quelle heure? So the answer will always be il is. What time it is? What time is it? It is. So all here you put il est 1 heure for 1 o'clock. Il est 2 heures for 2 o'clock. You're going to say 3:05. So as you can see, the number 3 and number 5, so you put 3h05. So il est 3h05. 4:10, il est 4h10. 5:15, il est 5h15. You see 5, you say 15. So you say 5 and 15 for 15. So it is simple. Whatever you see, you just say it out. 620, il est 6h20. And as I said just now, in the middle, you put heure. So it becomes 6:20. So 7:25, 7h25. 8:30, 8h30. Okay, 8 and 30, 8h30. 9:35, il est 9h35. 10:40, il est 10h40. 11:45, il est 11h45. So all this, when it is below 12, it must be in the morning. Okay. 12 o'clock, 12h. Then, as I said just now, they do not revert back to 1 o'clock. They use 13. So 13h10, 1:10. Or 1300 hours, 10 minutes. Then continue, in English we say in the PM side. So 14:58, 14h58. 3 o'clock, 15h. 4 o'clock, meaning 1600 hours, 16h. So we keep doing it until we reach, say for example, 11 p.m. 11 p.m. would be 23h, 2300 hours. Then when it comes to midnight, you use 2400 hours, which is 24 heures, or sometimes in the system, they do not write 2400, they would say 0000. So it's written as 0000, then you can say 0 heure. So 0 heure or 24 heures is the same in order to say it is midnight. Okay. So more or less that is for the l'heure officielle, which is quite simple. You just say the hour, you just say the minute, in the middle you put the H, which stands for heure. Okay. Now let's watch the video from Alexa.
Today, folks, bonjour, and let's have a look how to tell time in French. I've titled this lesson, Quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Okay, this is lesson 15, and I titled it Telling the Time, or Quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Now, this is the first part of 2 lessons. Okay, I'm going to give it to you today at the simplest way possible that we can give time in French, but it gets quite complicated. But that's not for this lesson right now. So, I'm going to start with the simplest of all. And how do you say it is 1 o'clock? Well, in French, you've got to do it like this. Il est, it is, il est 1 heure.
Okay, basically last semester pun you dah belajar, and then tadi pun dah belajar sikit lagi. So I think redundant lah this particular video. Banyak kali sebut benda yang sama, so I think I boleh fast forward je. Anyway, macam biasa, yang ini I dah hantar pada WhatsApp group. So whenever you are free, you nak tahu how to tell the time, dah terlupa, you can always refer back to this video. Okay, so I fast forward sikit-sikit.
It is 1 hour. Il est 1.
Or midi, as he said just now, is we use it to take into account the minutes as well. For example, now, il est 15 heures.
To 3 p.m. Okay, let's have a look at the time in French.
Douze will be 12. So what is 4? And then you put heure, and then you put 36.
Il est 20h50. Okay, obviously it's
So this is the one that I said just now. If it's in English, you say 2050. So the same thing, 20, and then in the middle, 50 comes after that.
8:50 p.m.
In the 24-hour system. Okay, first part is about how to tell the time using official time. Now we are going to learn about how to say the time using the l'heure familière or conversational time. As you can see, kita ada l'heure officielle, kita ada l'heure familière ataupun l'heure conversationnelle. Okay, now we'll continue with the second part, which is l'heure conversationnelle. Okay, for conversational time, it uses the 12-hour system. So later on, we are going to use this. For example, if it's 12 in noon, or it's at noon, you use midi. If it's midnight, we use minuit. Because just now we said, if it's a 24-hour clock system, then after 11 becomes 12. So in the 24-hour system, you say 12 heures. And then if it's midnight, 24, you say just now 24 heures or 0 heures. But then for l'heure officielle, we do not use 12 or 24. When it is noon, we say midi. When it is midnight, we say minuit. And then later on, we are going to learn, for example, 3:15. So we don't say 3:15, we say 3 1/4. Something like in Malay, 3 suku. And if it's for the half, we use 1/2. And if it's 50 minutes to the next hour, we say minus 1/4. Okay, it's okay. This one is the words that we are going to learn in a while. Later on, I'll explain to you more in detail. Okay, so just now we have learned the 24-hour clock system, whereby it goes until 11. Then when it comes to 12, just now we saw il est 12 heures. It is 12 o'clock. Okay. But then, as I said just now, for l'heure conversationnelle, you don't say il est 12 heures, you say il est midi. For noon, il est minuit. For night. So after il est midi, just now we saw we take the number 13 for l'heure officielle. Il est 13 heures. But for l'heure conversationnelle, you don't do that. You go back to 1 o'clock. So again, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So how do you differentiate between 1 in the morning or 1 in the afternoon? So we have this system as Alexa showed just now. If it's in the morning, meaning until 11:59, then you use du matin. So in the afternoon, in English we say PM, then in English it's up to 11:59 PM, meaning really before 1 minute before midnight. But in French, they divided into two. you use de l'après-midi in the afternoon until just about the time when the sun sets. Once the sun sets, then you use du soir. Okay, so for example here in Malaysia, 8 o'clock, sunset already. So il est 8 heures du soir. Then you use it until 11, il est 11 heures du soir. And then for 12 o'clock, you don't have du matin or du soir, because when you use midi, obviously it is in the afternoon. When you use minuit, obviously it's during night time. So when in the conversational time, you don't have to use du matin or de l'après-midi in order to say either noon or midnight. Meaning to say, you don't say il est midi de l'après-midi, something like that, or il est minuit du soir. You don't say that. Okay, so it's understood. However, the usage of du matin and de l'après-midi in normal conversation, you can say it, or you might not want to say it, meaning it's facultative. Facultative means it's not obligatory. If you want to use it, you can use. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. In fact, I think generally most people would prefer not to use it because it is obvious when you are talking in a conversational manner. For example, you are sitting in a class. After a certain time, then you ask your friend beside you, dah pukul berapa sekarang? What time is it now? So your friend look at the watch. For example, your class is at, like our class lah, 9 to 12. So then your friend look at his watch about 10:15. So he would say, katalah pukul 10, easy, because we have not learned how to say the minutes yet. So he wants to say, oh, it's 10 o'clock. Il est 10 heures. Does he need really to say du matin? Meaning in Malay or in English, do you really would say when someone asks you, dah pukul apa sekarang? Dah pukul 10 pagi. Do you really need to say that pagi? Not necessarily, because you just had your breakfast perhaps, and you know your class will finish before noon. So it must be in the morning. So you don't have to spell it out. You don't have to really say morning. But if you want to say, it's okay. But it is quite rare, at least for in Malay, I guess. Pukul berapa sekarang? Pukul 10. Enough. You don't have to say pukul 10 pagi. Okay. Same thing if it's during night time. Okay. You have just eaten your dinner, for example. So someone asks you what time, or you ask someone what's the time. So that particular person do not have to say, it is at 10 o'clock, du soir, il est 10 heures, du soir. Not necessary, because you know it's night. Okay. So normally in the conversationnel, they have it, but people tend not to use it. But if you use it, as I said, still okay. And it is people tend not to use it even if you are talking to a blind person. And perhaps he might be offended if you say morning or afternoon, as if he doesn't know. Even a blind person would know, because as I said, perhaps he has just taken the breakfast. So if it's 10 o'clock, must be 10 o'clock in the morning. If he has just taken dinner, 10 o'clock must be at night. So even to a blind person, not necessarily to say du matin or de l'après-midi. But as I said, I couldn't emphasize more that if you wish, you can opt for using it. Okay, so no problem. Setengah orang pakai, setengah orang tak pakai. It's there. Okay, so for il est 1 heure, it is 1 o'clock. As mentioned in the video just now, we use une, not un. Why? Because this 1 heure, 1 o'clock, refers to heure. Heure is feminine. So when it's feminine, so you use une, not un. As I said here, one uses une, not un, for 1 o'clock because the une refers to that is feminine. Okay, and then number 2 here, is written without s, only for 1 o'clock. Because 1 is not plural, so you don't have to put s. But the rest of it, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, they are all plural, meaning more than 1. So you've got to put s for the But when it comes to 12 o'clock, you do not say il est midi it's sufficient to say il est midi. It is noon. Same thing in English. You can say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock until 11 o'clock, but you don't say what time is it? Oh, it is noon o'clock. It sounds weird. People don't use it. So, same thing in French. The o'clock, which is you do not say il est midi or il est minuit People would know il est midi, it is noon. Okay, you don't have to put the o'clock. Okay, as I mentioned here, except for midi and minuit, is written with s because the numbers are larger than 1. That denotes plurality. Okay, then starting from 1 a.m., which is inner, until 11 o'clock, which is 11, one uses the normal cardinal numbers, which is 1 until 11. However, for 12 p.m., which is noon, midi is used, and for 12 a.m. or midnight, minuit is used. Okay, that one we have covered that just now. This one also we have covered. After midi, meaning after noon, meaning after 12 o'clock, we say noon or midi. We do not say 1300 hours after that, because that would be the other system, the 24-hour clock system. So we revert back to 1 o'clock, okay, which is inner. Then, as I mentioned just now, in order to mention whether it's you are talking about in the morning or in the afternoon or at night, it is facultative, meaning not obligatory, to mention AM or PM in conversational time. So how to mention AM, PM? Just now we have seen. If it's in the morning, du matin. And then for the PM, we divided it into de l'après-midi until before the sun sets. And then once the sun sets, you use du soir. Okay, so meaning to say, if it's in Malaysia, perhaps we will use until 11:59 for du matin anywhere in the world. But the one that I said perhaps in Malaysia is the sunset. Okay, so 12:01 maybe until 7:30, you will use de l'après-midi. Then after that, you after sunset until 11:59, you would use du soir. Example. Okay, now the example I've given include the minutes. So if it's 6 o'clock, il est 6 heures. Now you have 10 minutes, so you put this. The same way as we did for the 24-hour clock system. But here, if you want to emphasize if it is in the morning, so you put du matin. So il est 6 heures, 10 du matin. How about 5:25? You know your number 5, you know your number 25, just put il est in front, then the number 5 5, the number 25 after that, then 5, but do not forget to put in the middle heure. So it becomes il est 5h25, and if you want to emphasize that it is in the afternoon, so you put de l'après-midi, but as I said, it is not obligatory. You can just say il est 5h25. For 9:05, so same thing, 9 and 05, il est 9h05 du soir. Okay, how about 12:15? 12:15, do not use 12, 12. Do not use the normal number, 12. You must use midi. So, il est midi. And then just now, as I've shown you for this one is used for 15 minutes. écart. So, il est 3 heures, or il est midi écart. So, it is a quarter past noon. So, we do not use the number 15. So, in this case, you have 12, you have 15, but there is no 12 here, there is no 15 here. So, you got to use il est midi écart, it is a quarter past noon. Okay, this one I've mentioned just now, when midi or minuit is being used, so you need not use du matin, de l'après-midi, or du soir. Okay, so we have seen some examples just now, but as you can see, all these minutes, the numbers are less than 30. Okay, why? Because if the minute is more than 30, there's a different way to tell the time. So now let's learn on how to use the minutes if the minutes is within the 1st to the 29th minute, except for the 15 minute, because 15 minute we would use écart. Okay, the following formula could be used. So it is like this: il est X heures Y, whereby X is the hour, Y is the minute. So it's the same as just now. You just put heure in the middle. This is the hour. This is the this is the hour. This is the minute. In between, you put heure. So nothing new. So for example, 120. So heure is une. So you put une. 20 is 20. So you put 20. So in order to say 120, il est 1h20. For 429, again the same way. You must know the number 4. You put it here, 4. You must know your number 29, which is 29. So il est 4h29. 11, 11 and 11. So il est 11h11. Okay. If you want to emphasize, then you put at the back du matin, de l'après-midi, or du soir. Okay, the word minutes need not be used for telling time. So you don't say il est 1h20. It is enough to say il est 1h20. Okay, for the 15th minute, one should use écart instead of 15. So 2:15, il est 2h15. Okay, how about for the 30th minute? Okay, as in our conversational way of saying, even in Malay, very rare do you use pukul berapa? Pukul 2.30. Normally we would say pukul 2.30. So the setengah is the demi here. Okay, that is why just now you can see from the diagram, for the 30th minute, we use et demi. Écart and a quarter, et demi and half. Okay, meaning 2.30, but in French you got to put the a, and half. Okay, so et demi is used only for midi et demi or minuit et demi. What I mean is that the demi without the e. So you use half past noon or half past midnight. The spelling is D-E-M-I. The rest you use D-E-M-I-E. Okay, for example, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. So all other time except half past noon or half past midnight, you use demi with the E. For example, 3:30, il est 3h30 with E. 5:30, il est 5h30 with E. Okay, now we come to the second part. What happens if the minute is in the second half of the hour, meaning it goes from 31st minute to the 59th minute. Okay, what I'm going to show you is good except for 45th minute. Okay, because the 45th minute, as we can see from the diagram just now, we put it as moins le quart. Okay. Okay. So here is the formula for the minutes that comes after the second half of the hour, meaning from the 31st minute to the 59th minute. What happens? Just now we just use X as the hour. Now you have to add 1, X plus 1. Meaning to say, if it is 3:45, you do not say 3. You say 3 plus 1, which is 4. Okay? So 350 lah katakan. 350. So you do not say 3, you say 4. Then, because 4 is already after 350, so in order to get back to 350, you must use more, minus. So here is 4 o'clock, minus what? 60 minus the minute. So if you say 350, then 60 minus 50, it becomes 10. So what you are going to tell, it is 4 o'clock minus 10, instead of saying 350. So this is some example. So you're going to say 440. So 440 will be X plus 1. So you must say 5. Il est 5 heures. But 5 o'clock, if you stop here, il est 5 heures, it is beyond 440, 20 minutes after that. So in order to make it exact to be 440, you must minus. You must minus by what? By 60 minus 40, which is the Y. So you got 20. So il est 5 heures moins 20. Direct translation, it is 5 o'clock minus 20. So 5 minus 20 is 440. How about 10:55? Same thing. 55, the minute is in the second half of the hour, between 31st and 59th minute. So you must use this system. Meaning, when you see 10, you don't say 10, you say 11. So il est 11 heures. Then you deduct by 5. 60 minus 55. So il est 11 heures moins 5. So some students say, wow, it's a difficult system, but actually it's not that difficult, because even in English, you would be using the same number. For example, what is 440 in English? In order to say 440, you would say 20 to 5. What time is it? It's 20 to 5. So same thing, you've got to use the number 20, you've got to use the number 5. So, but then in French, you put the hour in front, I mean more, beyond the actual time, then you deduct. But then in English, it's the other way around. You would say 20 to 5. Meaning it goes, the 20 goes to the hour. Whereas in French, you deduct it to make it 440. Same thing for 10:55. How would you say in English? 5 to 11. So the same number comes out, 5 and 11. Okay, so 5 to 11, but French would say 11 minus 5. Okay, the word minute, again, as just now, we don't use for telling time. Okay, just now we said except for the 45th minute. So what happens to the 45th minute? So instead of 440, we want to say 445. So 445, il est 5 heures moins le quart. Okay, it is 5 o'clock minus quarter. So you don't say minus 15. So for this case, you say minus quarter. In fact, in English also, you will use the same, but with the same way just now, towards the hour. So in English, 4:45, you would say a quarter to 5. So again, you use quarter, you use 5. So it's not really something new, but the system is slightly different as compared to English, but the numbers that they use in English or in French to say the same time would be the same numbers. If you think this is difficult, in Arabic it is slightly more difficult, although they use the same system. For example, in Arabic, if someone asks you, what time is it? Kam sa'atul an. So you've got to say al-an now, as what we use ile, it is. So in Arabic, you will say, for example, 4:45. Kam sa'atul an, what time? Al-an, as-sa'atu khamisa illa rubu'. What do you say? It is 5 o'clock illa. Illa meaning something like minus also in this case. Illa is like without. Rubu'. Rubu' is a quarter. So 4:45 would be 5 o'clock minus quarter. Same system. But then in Arabic, not only they use the quarter, but they also use like 4:40. Like 4:40, sa'atu khamisa sulus. So they would say it is 5 o'clock minus 1/3. So we use only 1/4. They use also 1/3. 1/3 of 60 is 20. So minus 20 minutes, meaning they use minus a third, 1/3. Okay, so that is about the conversational time. So just now we have learned the official time. So let us see. Okay, this one, 4.3.2.5. One must be careful as not to merge the two systems. Okay, so we have learned first part this morning, the official time. Then after that, I taught you the conversational time. Le conversationnel, or sometimes people use as le familiar. Okay, what do I mean we must not merge the two systems? For example, 11:40. You say il est 12h moins 20. This is wrong. Why is it wrong? When you use minus, the minus system comes from the conversational time, the one that I've just taught you. But in conversational time, we don't have 12h. So now you are putting the two systems together. You are using 12, which is the official time, and then you are using the minus whatever, which is the conversational time. So you are merging both systems. Cannot. So it is wrong because by using moins, it shows that one is attempting to use the conversational time. Moins does not exist in official time because the minutes are set as they are. Because in official time, you would just say 11h40. You don't use the minus system. However, those cannot be used in conversational time because after 11 o'clock comes either midi or minuit. Therefore, the correct answer would be il est midi, or if it's midnight, il est minuit moins 20. This is correct. You cannot use 12. But if you want to use 12, can, but it becomes official time. So 11:40 would be 11h40. In fact, the number 12 does not come in because you use the 11 and 40. Okay, so by understanding both systems, one would be able to say the time correctly. Okay, so for whatever time in French, you can always say it in 4 ways. Okay, for example, 10:15. Okay, the conversational time, you must use 10 but cannot use 15. You must use a quarter. So if it's AM, il est 10h15, you want to emphasize morning, du matin. If it's in the at night, il est 10h15 du soir. And then for official time, you don't use écart. You use 15 as a number. So il est 10h15. But if it's at night, then you got to add 12. So il est 22h15. So that is what just now I said. For any time, you can say 4 ways in French. Okay, for example, 11:55. As you can see, it's all different ways of saying it. 11:55, if you use the conversational time, it is more than, it goes into the second half of the hour. So you must, if it's 11, you must say midi. You don't say 12. So il est midi moins 5 if it's AM. So 11:55 AM. If it's 11:55 PM, so instead of midi, you use minuit, midnight. So it is midnight minus 5. If you are using the official time, then as I said, whatever number is given, just say it out. So here is 11, here is 55. So il est 11h11, 55, 55. In the middle, as I mentioned many times, do not forget to put heure. If it's in at night, then you add 12. So it becomes 23. So il est 23h55. Okay, now in terms of pronunciation. Liaison when telling the time. Liaison means you put the sound together between two words. So for example, il est 1h becomes il est 1h. And the N, you put it together with the heure. So il est 1h. Il est 2h, the Z sound. Il est 3h, Z. Il est 4h, R sound. 4h. Il est 4h. Il est 5h, K. Ok, il est 6h. Il est 6 o'clock. Il est 7h. Il est 7 o'clock, T. Il est 7h. Il est 9h. Okay. For il est 9h, you do not say the F. Okay, il est 10h. So that is for the notes that I've taken from French Express 2. Okay, if we look at the Café Crème textbook, so let's see the difference between them. Okay, just now we have seen the first column, we understood it. So now let's look what is the difference between l'heure officielle and l'heure familière. Okay, from 1 until actually just 11:59, just before midnight, they are almost the same. As you can see, il est 1h, 2h, 3h, 05, 3h05, okay, we don't see the 0. 4h10, same thing, 4h10, 5h15, 5, okay, this one 15 becomes écart. 6h20, 7h25. So as I said, most of them are almost the same, except for the 15 just now. Except for l'heure familière, you use du matin and du matin because it's before noon. Okay. So for 11:45, here is 11h45, l'heure officielle. But for l'heure familière, you cannot say 11. You must say midi, which is 12 o'clock minus quarter. So il est midi moins le quart. By the way, moins le, we pronounce it as normally moins le quart. Okay, now when it comes to 12 o'clock, here is 12 heures, here is midi. Okay, just now I said it is quite the same when it is before noon. But when it is after noon, after 12 o'clock, then it is different because here would continue 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and so forth. But then for the l'heure familière, you revert back, you go back to 1. So in this case, 1:10, here you can see 13, here you can see 1. 14h58, 14:58. So l'heure familière or l'heure conversationnelle, this is 2:58 p.m. So when it's 2:58, you cannot say 2, you must say 3. So il est 3 heures and then minus 2 minutes. But you do not say the minutes. Il est 3 heures moins 2. Then all of them, if you want to emphasize, then you either put if it's PM de l'après-midi or du soir. So same thing goes for the rest. For example, 2300 hours. So here 23 heures. Here you use 11 o'clock. But if you want to emphasize, then you say du soir. Il est 11 heures du soir. That is why we put in brackets. Normally what we put in bracket, it means you can put or you can opt not to put. And last but not least, for l'heure officielle, you use 24 heures or 0 heures instead of in l'heure conversationnelle, you must use minuit. Il est minuit, it is midnight. Okay. So that is for the time. So now let's look at the part 2 of Alexa, explaining almost the same thing that what I've explained for the l'heure conversationnelle. So I'll send to you first. Okay, now let's watch the second part.
Good grammar and spelling are important, but if you want to write essays that inspire, Bonjour, let's have a look at quelle heure est-il? What
Okay, looking for this video, I've already sent it to
time is
your
it? Part 2.
I've already sent it to your WhatsApp group, so you can watch it later. So I fast forward here.
You. So, 4, how would you do that? Now remember the time the hour comes first. First. Il est 4 heures, okay, 4 o'clock, minus 15 minutes, minus a quarter, so moins le quart.
Okay, so basically part 2 pun talking about l'heure conversational. Okay, conversational time yang ada minus.
Il est 4 heures,
14. Okay, so 14, what is 14? L'heure conversationnelle. So we can use
which is past the.
Okay, so sini semua ada exercises. I think we don't go macam I kata lah, you have done this last semester. So kita tak go thoroughly. So for this one, I think kejap lagi kita snap je dia punya jawapan tu. Untuk 240, there are 4 ways how to say 240.
What is the expression?
Il est 3 heures moins 25.
Quarter to.
Et 6 heures. So what you do to 6, you must add berapa? at 12. So it becomes 18. So what is 18? Dix-huit, correct? So il est 18h, again 30. So you got the 4 ways of saying the time. Okay, now we continue with the next. Okay, for CTAM itu conversational time in the morning, conversational time in the afternoon, CTPM, and then OTAM stands for official time morning, OTPM official time in the afternoon lah, maknanya PM. Okay, now I snap kejap, I hantar so that you would know how to say all this time. Exercise. Let's see the answer
So as you
first.
said, 6:30. Okay, could be a 24-hour clock.
So as you said, 6:30.
Très bien.
Okay, could be a 24-hour clock or not.
Boleh tak pakai 15? Tak boleh kan? Okay. So the 40.
Remember,
Is it in
hour
French?
first, 5 heures,
Uh-huh.
and then
Remember.
Okay, so it's easy. What do we change here?
Cut.
4, but do you put 4 here?
So,
20 minutes.
The minute? What number? 45. So if it's at night, what happens when you add 12?
give you a little
It's very,
How
very
do you
hard. I'm going to give you a little
21. So il est 21h, then you have the same 45. So this is for official time PM. Okay.
Il est, well done, 10 heures moins
Il
le quart.
est, well
Il
done,
est
10 heures
10
moins
heures
le quart.
le
Il
quart.
est
Again, it is
10 heures
2
moins
in
le quart.
French, we say
Again,
10
it is
minus
2
minutes.
10.
Il
French, we say
est 10
10
heures
minus 9 minutes. So, il est 10 heures plus
il
moins
est
le
9
quart.
heures.
Okay.
9 heures.
Comme
Ça, c'est
where
So you change du matin to de l'après-midi. Très bien. So we are done. So basically today we learn about time, two ways of telling the time. Okey, kita pun ada masa sikit lagi. Ini pun dalam 18 minit. Kalau I fast forward, cepat je kot. Lagipun ini basically, I think more exercises. Maybe I can send you the link, the video link kot. Sekejap, I tengok sekejap. Okay, bonjour. We can start our class today. Last class, what we did, I taught you how to say the time and to ask what time is it. So today, just to refresh your memory, we'll start first with, as I said earlier, a few videos, just to refresh your memory about time. Okay, so I've sent three video links, so we'll look at it. Okay, we'll watch it now.
Quelle heure est-il? Il est 1h. Il est 2h. Il est 3h. Il est 4h. Il est 5h. Il est 6h. Il est 7h. Il est 8h. Il est 9h. Il est 10h. Il est 11h. Il est midi.
Il est midi.
For noon,
Il est minuit.
midnight.
Midnight. Minuit.
Il est 8h05. Il est 8h10. Il est 8h20. Il est 8h25. Il est 9h moins 25. Il est 9h moins 20. Il est 9h moins 10. Il est 9h moins 5.
Remember this one, how to say the time. Il est 9h moins 5, meaning it is 8:55. Yeah, the direct translation, 9 o'clock minus 5.
Minus 5.
Yeah, why we use this system? Because the minute is after the the second half of the hour. So meaning as soon as you get to 31, then you've got to use this method if you are using the conversational method.
Then really the color have to count macam mathematics baru cakap.
Yeah. But then, as I mentioned last week, actually the numbers are the same with English, because in English, you would say 5 to 9. So meaning you've got the number 5 and then you've got the number 9. Only system dia terbalik sikit. In English kita kata towards 5 to 9. But then in French dia terbalik, dia ambil 9 dulu. 9 o'clock minus 5. But as I said just now, the same numbers are being used. 5 to 9, 9 minus 5. Okay.
Sir, sorry.
Yeah.
Kalau just now you answer say selepas 30 minit, 31 atas contoh 35.
Yes.
So now we want to say 9 minus 25.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. 9 minus 25.
Selepas 30 mesti pakai macam ni dalam conversation. Kalau kita tak mau pakai ni, kita terus cakap. Boleh tak?
Boleh, but then dia jadi sistem yang official time.
Oh, kalau kita cakap macam itu, dia group kategori sebagai official time.
Official time. For example, you do not want to say 9 o'clock minus 5, you want to say 8:55, kan? But then if you say 8:55 for official time, it would be in the morning. If it's at night, you add 12. So 8 plus 12, 20. So if you say 20:55, everybody will know it's 8:55 at night PM. If you just say 8:55, everybody would know it is in the morning AM. This way, the conversational time and you want to infuse the one that I've mentioned also last class, morning, du matin. If it's at night, you use du soir. Remember that one?
Last week I was lost.
Oh, okay.
Never, I will revision.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you were asking something just now?
I said if we were to use because for us like macam susah saya cakap terus number saja dalam conversation tak salah kan?
Tak ada salah, kan? It's just an option.
Okay.
Il est 8h15. Il est 9h moins le quart. Il est 8h30.
This is very good, this one.
Yeah, short and then
Straightforward.
straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, very good for revision.
Quelle heure est-il? What time is it?
Il est 2 heures, il est 3 heures, il est 3 heures et demie. Il est 4 heures, il est 5 heures, il est 6 heures, il est 6 heures et demie. Il est 7 heures, il est 8 heures, il est 9 heures, il est 9 heures et demie. Il est 10 heures, il est 11 heures, il est 12 heures, il est 12 heures et demie. Quelle heure est-il? Quelle heure est-il? Il est une même quart. Il est 2h15 et quart. Il est midi, il est minuit.
So this was explained into the WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Alors, aujourd'hui, on apprendra à demander et à dire l'heure. Et puis, la façon la plus formelle serait, vous avez l'heure?
Okay, so this one is some of the ways where you can ask what time is it.
Pour dire l'heure sans les minutes, on dit il est.
So she said that in order to say the time without the minutes, meaning 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
X heure.
Okay, so you just put il est and then the number, for example, 2 o'clock, put 2 heures.
Exemple, il est 3 heures. On peut dire il est 3 heures du matin ou il est 3 heures de l'après-midi. Exemple, il est 12 heures ou midi. Il est 24 heures ou minuit. Pour dire l'heure avec les minutes, on peut dire il est 3h05, il est 3h15,
il est 3h30, il est 4h moins 20 ou il est 4h moins le quart.
L'heure familière. So different names but for the same.
Et les émissions de télévision.
So for official time, normally they are being used for transport, for bus, for planes and so on, and also for TV programs, etc.
Pour la forme officielle, on dit l'heure de 0 à 24 et on indique les minutes avec précision.
Okay, so for the official time, we use the 24-hour clock system, and then we put the minute as it is.
Exemple, 1h44. Pour la forme courante, on utilise de 1 à 12 heures et on peut spécifier si c'est les heures du matin, de l'après-midi ou du soir.
So for the l'heure courante, we are using the 12-hour clock system, 24-hour clock, and this one is 12-hour clock system, whereby we use only 1 to 12. After 12, go back to 1. And then if you want to say whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, then you use morning, du matin, de l'après-midi, afternoon, and du soir, in the evening.
Et voilà, c'est fini pour aujourd'hui. Passe une très bonne journée.
Alors, il est 4h, 3h. Il est 4h moins 10. Il est 4h moins 5. Il est 4h.
Okay, yang kita baru tengok 2-3 videos ni semua dah ada dalam WhatsApp group.
Voyons quelques remarques. Il faut distinguer entre l'heure officielle et l'heure courante.
Okay, tadi nampak l'heure officielle, itu ramai orang guna l'heure officielle lah. Tapi yang satu lagi tu macam-macam nama je, tapi benda sama. L'heure familière, l'heure conversationnelle, dalam video ni dia panggil namanya l'heure courante.
L'heure officielle s'utilise pour être plus précis dans les situations suivantes. Horaire de train ou d'avion, émission de télévision, spectacle ou autre. L'heure officielle utilise les heures de 0 à 23.
Quelle heure est-il?
Les heures. Il est 1h. Il est 2h. Il est 3h. Il est après-midi. Il est 16h. Une seconde. Des demi-heures.
Okay, that's it for today. So hari ni kita banyak belajar jam dan earlier we did some exercises on the prepositions for countries. So next week we'll finish off chapter 2. And next week itself, inshallah, we will be able to start chapter 3. Okay, so as for now, we are on the right track. Okay, ada soalan apa-apa? Let me see your attendance. Semua dah sign ke? Okay, Fasiha, Lutfil, belum, dua orang lah. Mungkin juga tak datang pun hari ni. So, if you are here, don't forget to take your attendance. Okay, anything? Any quick comments or questions?
No, no questions, sir.
Okay, so see you next week.
Thanks.
Au revoir.
Merci, monsieur. Au revoir.
Au
Merci
revoir.
beaucoup, monsieur. Thank you. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Welcome, de rien.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, monsieur.
Welcome. Welcome.